How is it going, everybody? And welcome to my channel. Today, finally, with the 80 card deck that I promised you for a while now, or I also asked in Discord what people think about it, and I think it's a really interesting take on this Rakdos Anvil deck, and I was always trying to improve it and always worked on it, but I always never got to this 60 card deck, and then every time I played the Anvil decks, I don't know, the matchmaker started matching me against meal decks, and I lost, I think, multiple games. I think it was like 2, 3, maybe even 4 games against meal deck, and then I thought, you know what, let's go 80 cards, because I want to utilize some cards that I really like, and I think this deck comes out really nice, especially because matchmaker doesn't know where to fit you really. It still tries to put you against meal matchups, but we have such a good chance against meal matchup. And to be honest, I think I played, after I changed it to 80 card decks, again against meal, and I won all the games against meal matchups, because the time that they mill me out 80 cards is just enough to me finish my opponent with the combos. Let's check out why 80 cards and what makes this deck so special. And in the first place, I want to talk about a card that is easily replaceable, but I just like this card and I wanted to utilize it in this deck, but you can replace it with a common card. And this is Welcoming Vampire. Welcoming Vampire from white, this is why we are Mardu. We splash white a little bit for Welcoming Vampire, but also for Extus or Awaken the Blood Avatar more or less. But we can cast also Extus because Extus, I'm sorry, the Overlord. Extus also because we have white in it, but we are mainly of course Rakdos. And the first idea of this combo was of course the Awakening Blood Avatar with Kiki, because you can copy the avatar and go in with the avatar token and instantly make some damage. Sadly, the triggered ability of opponent sacrificing a creature is not triggering because we are not casting it, but when it enters a battlefield it has also haste, 3/6, goes in, deals 3 damage, and then opponent is forced to block it. Just an amazing possibility, especially because we are using the Anvil. We have a lot of small creatures to sacrifice to our Blood Avatar to just cast him for 1 black and 1 red, right? So this is just amazing. But the card that I was also excited about to introduce here is Welcoming Vampire, because this is a flying 2/3, and it says whenever another creature, or whenever one or more creatures with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under my control, we draw a card, and this ability triggers only once. This is, let's say, it has a competitor in this deck that is, I think, will be better. And the competitor is definitely our Morbid. Morbid Opportunities, also 3 mana, but we are staying true to the color, so we are more in Rakdos colors. It's a 1/3 non-flyer, and this is whenever one or more other creatures, so not him, die, we draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So it can trigger on our turn and then can trigger on opponent's turn. The point is here that because we are utilizing so much self-sacrifices in opponent's turn, but also so much sacrifices with Anvil in our turn, we draw each turn at least 1 extra card with Morbid. This is something that we cannot really do with Welcoming Vampire, because I don't know if there is really a play where you can. I think I could sacrifice Experimental Synthesizer in opponent's turn, but then I do nothing with the card that I get exiled and stuff, but it will be just a waste, right? Just a waste. I use the Welcoming Vampire for 2 reasons. One, I like her and I think she's really underplayed. I want to play her more. And number 2 is because she's a flyer. Especially in mirror matchups, if I face another Anvil deck, a flying 2/3 threat that goes constantly for damage is much more effective than a card draw that I can get out of Morbid, and he's a 1/3 on the ground, right? So this is basically the main idea why I use it. But if you don't have Welcoming Vampire, or if you have maybe 1 or 2 copies, you can easily take the addition of Morbid Opportunist and use it. He will draw you much more cards, much more, but in a mirror matchup you will be maybe let's say depending on what you draw and how you draw, right? Because then with the Welcoming Vampire I can start attacking turn 4, turn 5, maybe I draw my Sorin and then produce more flyers, because flyers in mirror matchup are really important. Yeah, this is so far for the deck. As I said, this is 80 cards. We have here, let's check it together, we have 28 lands. Of course, because we run 80 cards, we need to go close to the 30 land mark, and we have also some double-sided cards here, for example, Mauling, of course, and Shatterskull Smashing. Shatterskull Smashing is also really let's say, last call addition that I made because I didn't want to play 28 pure lands, but I also didn't, or let's say I didn't want to play 30 plus lands, pure lands, but I also didn't want, let's say, being in the situation where I don't draw enough lands. This is why I said, okay, let's reduce one red, add it as a Shatterskull Smashing, and in some games it won me literally the games. And before we now jump into the gameplay part, first, of course, consider to support my channel, and second, when I built this deck, or when I start playing with this 80 card pile, I went 16-0 with this deck. Now, while all the days gone, I lost already some games, like 2-3 games, against other mirror matchups, against some weird enchantment shenanigans. But in general, this deck is in a super high win rate. I think I'm still somewhere about 90% win rate. And you will see it in the gameplay part, definitely, what are the weaknesses and what is the strength of this deck. In the breakdown, I will talk a little bit about other synergies that we maybe didn't saw, and also a little bit about the addition of these sideboard cards. This is not for best of one, this is just an addition that I found sometimes depends in which direction the meta is facing, or on what day you are facing what. For example, I heard a lot of people right now facing a lot of mono white, so what to change there and how to adapt this meta there. Otherwise, guys, let's go straight into gameplay, see how this deck will carry us to Mythic. Hey, Capenna, let's go in our first game. And Capenna, the deck name is because... let me see. This is really unfortunate. We go first, but we don't have the black source. If you draw the black source, it will be amazing. But otherwise, I'm gonna mulligan this one. Okay, this is okay. We have Anvil, we have turn 1, maybe something. Yeah, this is okay. Gonna bottom Sorin, keep this. And the name of the deck come because I was listening to a song from J Balvin, and there is like a famous line where he say, Capenna, this is something like, how sad, or like, oh, in English, I think. Yeah, like, how upsetting, or something like this. Opponent is an easy, maybe again mill deck. As I said, I faced with this deck a lot of mill decks. And let's see, no, opponent is definitely not a mill deck. So we are gonna do it how? Let me see. And Rabbit Battery is also a really nice inclusion here. I'm not looking right now to smash the Smoldering Egg. Rabbit Battery has here a really, let's say, nice inclusion, because this way I can haste Kiki instantly when it comes in. This is why I run Rabbit Battery and almost all my decks, and you know I like to experiment with Kiki really much. I have a lot of different decks with him, with it. I don't even know if it's a him or her. And okay, I think Midhook Massacre is not something I'm really looking for here. Another Kiki is okay. So let's go in. Let's see what my opponent is gonna do. Create a treasure token. Okay. Then we're gonna use the treasure token, I think, to... Oh no, wait, I can do it like this. I can sacrifice a token for thingy, Anvil will trigger. Yeah, Anvil will trigger. And then I can bounce him with a token from the Anvil. Yeah. So opponent can maybe bounce the egg. No, he doesn't. Okay, and then in this case we are gonna play another Kiki, because I think my opponent has things like this Dragon Sweep card. Bunch of Fire Disruption, sure. Or how you call it? Burn Down the House. Burn Down the House is definitely also something we need to look out for. Wait, I'm gonna turn on the light. I'm gonna turn on the light later. So I think now, right now, we can already cast our Blood Avatar for just 2 mana. Not sure what my opponent is holding there, to be honest. Maybe I wanna bait it, right? Maybe I wanna bait it. Let's bait it. Let's see what my opponent has. And here you see also the interaction with Kiki just come in. And opponent Spikefield Hazard on my Rabbit Battery. Okay. Then we're gonna use it like this. Do I use it now or do I save it until he has the Goldspan Dragon out? Good question, huh? I think I'm waiting until he gets the Goldspan Dragon out. Then we're gonna go in, and then if he gets the Goldspan Dragon out, I'm gonna Extus the hell out of him. Sure. Resolve. We go for the white source. Don't really need it, right? Let's go for the black source. Another Kiki on top. Or has been on top. And from here on, I don't know, if a pawn plays Goldspan Dragon, then he needs a 2 mana sweeper. Okay, another one. This is actually also really good. And then we're gonna use the 1 mana to activate you. Okay, opponent had enough. Opponent says no, thank you. I don't really know, understood what my opponent played. Did he play a mill deck? I think so, because I face with this deck much more mill decks than I face easy dragon decks. But could be also easy dragon because Smoldering Egg is usually not something a mill deck is running. So yeah, let's go into the next one. Okay, now we are ready. This game search took ages. Lunz. Interesting name. Also good hand. I'm gonna keep it. Good hand against aggro decks. Good hand against control decks if we can resolve our Sorin. So this is definitely... And with this deck I'm gonna talk about keepers and non-keepers in the breakdown. But you saw already in the first game my decision for keeping the hand or mulligan the hand. And this is often really important. Not only the mana is important at the beginning, but also things like how do we approach the current situation, right? So if I'm really out of facing a lot of control decks, I'm gonna keep different hands than, for example, here, the enchantment decks, right? There we have also our, how you call it? White source? Not necessary right now, but sure. Opponent maybe a Death Touch deck, I don't know. I don't know in what direction he's moving here. I'm gonna here, I'm gonna here. And next turn we can already resolve our Sorin and start producing some serious damage here. Okay. Let's go. Until now only lands, but most likely this will change. And Sorin is great because also against enchantment things like trample and stuff is really dominant. This is why the token, the 2/3 flying token takes a lot of trample away and also gives you a little bit of life. I mean, life, you will not raise an enchantment deck or runes deck with life gain. Okay, Michiko, nice. Nice. Pump it up to 4. Of course I'm gonna trade everything if my opponent is gonna try to go for it. Yes, he's trying to. So we take all the damage away and kill the Kami in the same time. So my opponent don't has a target for the next trigger from Michiko. Okay, this is good. The question is, do we draw first? I think we check first what is on top. Sure. Take it. Play it. Kiki. Bricky. And this is a really, really good turn, I think. Really good turn for me. Let's see, from there we can bottom maybe some lands. We don't need so many lands. We can also use the tokens from our Sokenzan to trigger, of course, our Blood Avatar. But right now I'm looking for things like Rabbit Battery, so I can activate in 2 turns my Kiki instantly. Okay, opponent with the Weaver. Sure, my friend. We discard you, and you are not necessary right now, to be honest. Okay, here we have the Rabbit Battery, but first off, now cancel. First, let's check what we have here with our Sorin on top. Ooh, Jesus. The problem is if I give the Weaver one more turn, this will be painful for me. Sure, let's take it. Let's take it, let's see what we're gonna get from the top. Okay, Anvil and Lance, this is good, this is good. We're gonna play you. Then, you create 1, 2. 2. Let's see. Okay, opponent doesn't want to do anything. Then how do we do that? We're gonna sacrifice you for red. Play the Rabbit Battery. I wanna keep the board. I wanna keep the board. Ah, fuck. Next turn. Next turn we're gonna do it. Next turn we can do it, and then my opponent will sacrifice something anyway. Okay, Katilda, sure. This is where Mauling is just a super card. Okay. This is good. This is actually very good. So let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's copy him. Let's minus on him. And let's... I mean, I can Mauling this 2-2. I can attack in. I can check what he has there. Sure, he will.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
I can be play you. Let's play you. 1, 2, 3. Autoplay. Yeah, you see maybe how this deck explodes. This is totally fine. Then we go in. Resolve. And then we're gonna Seki Meki here. Do we change something? No, I think it's fine. Right? Yeah, I think so. I don't think that Katilda will carry my opponent far, but who knows, right? Oh, nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And welcoming Vampire will trigger with itself, with our Kiki, of course. Sure. Go for it, my friend. Okay. So let's see what we are gonna draw with the Welcoming Vampire. And we're gonna draw multiple cards. And then... should I kill you now? Let's play you first, right? Draw another card. Yeah. Then let's draw more. Sure. Let's play you.
You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
Then we gonna attack. Create a treasure. Kill you. Sacrifice you. Bloop bloop. And yeah. 5 damage. I cannot find 5 damage, right? Anywhere. As hard as I'm looking, I don't see anywhere 5 damage. Sure. Let's sacrifice you. Linz. Yeah, this is basically how it goes against enchantments. This was a Celestial enchantments, I think pure Celestial enchantments. Because I don't see any red here, maybe... I think it was Celestial enchantments, so a little bit easier, not Naya runes. So yeah, let's go next, I would say. So, how do you like the deck so far? Jet Black, Blah, Jet Blah, Jet B1AC. Yeah, this deck, as I said, for me, it performed amazing, and I think if you make it at the first few games, let's say like 10, 12 games, the matchmaker will not know what to do with you because you suddenly play 80 cards. And that's really unusual for a standard best of 1 queue. I know there are sometimes people playing 250 cards and stuff, but let's say not on a really competitive level. And I think this 80 cards pile is a really strong pile and can yeah, bring you a long way. Bring you definitely a long way. And again, Rabbit Batter with Mirror Breaker, just 2 amazing cards. This is definitely something to look out for. And now we're gonna bait the Javari Disruption. I need to bait it, because otherwise I don't wanna my Kiki get countered. Because if opponent has a Javari Disruption, he will Javari Disruption, yeah. Javari Disruption this, and this will open the path for my Kiki. Because I think Kiki is much more important than Javari Disruption with Rabbit Battery. Because this is just too much value for my opponent. We don't need white anymore, but I'm also not really needing Azorius, not needing the black source here. Okay, let's bottom both of the lands. We have a lot of lands. Okay. Then let's attack first. See what my opponent's gonna play here. Let's play you. Let's play Epicure. And if opponent has a sweeper, he will most likely foretell it now. 4 mana. How do you like how we played around Javari Disruption? And we're gonna do it again. I mean, my opponent so far really passive, huh? Was maybe smarter to remove the blood token, but I wanna keep it. Okay. What, he has a bounce spell or what is this? Not sure what my opponent is currently running. Reconfigure to Kiki. Okay, opponent did nothing, literally nothing. Let's copy you. I know it will be more damage with Kiki. Sure. This is not a smart decision from my opponent, to be honest. I don't know if he's inexperienced or... because I will get my Rabbit Battery back to attack. And... I have another one? I do. I mean, if he has a sweeper, this is shitty, right? But it's okay. How much damage do I lose if I put here now? This is 3 here, 5 here, 1, 2 here. Otherwise, this is 1 here, 2. Wait, 1, 2 will be 5. 1, 2. Yeah, so it's a win on 1 damage, right? Yeah, it's a win on 1 damage. No, even more, 2 damage. Next, we go 1, 2 goes to you, 1 goes to you. And now, like when I attacking, then my opponent should have flashed in the Wanderer, and he will keep her for one more turn. This way, yes, my opponent deal with the Kiki, but at the end he lost a Planeswalker and took unnecessary damage. You sure? Are you sure, my friend? 5 mana do nothing. Oof, okay. You think he has... Yeah, I think he has a flash. I think he has something with flash. Flash like this. Yeah, gonna flash in something, right? Yeah. Yep. At least he acted smarter this time. Sure. Next. Wow. Okay. Now we're gonna do it like this. Sacrifice you and hide the rabbit battery under the token, just in case my opponent has a sweeper. So we keep the rabbit battery on the board, even if my opponent has a sweeper. Oh, so my opponent is a Zorius Planeswalker control or something like this. Sure. Okay. Now when he stepped out, the chance that he draws maybe something else is a little bit lower. Oh, Test of Talent. Okay, nice. Still nice, of course. Bjoop. Okay. And now we also have enough mana to activate our Hive. So I'm not really, let's say, scared of my opponent. Usually these control matchups are really easy for us. Because they wanna go long game, I wanna go long game, but I will produce constantly damage. My opponent is gonna do constantly nothing. We're gonna hide you again under him. And we gonna sacrifice a blood token? Sure, right? Just for 1 damage. End the turn. End the turno. The nice thing is about Anvil, why Anvil is so powerful, is because it plays around Vanishing Burst. That's okay that he uses this sort of shenanigans, right? I'm gonna play you and I'm gonna keep on attacking with you. And we're gonna exile... You think he has some recursion? I don't think so, right? But still, why not? Gancho, okay. Is this what you take out with Memory Deluge? Should have maybe played it up front, but who cares? We have another one. And we have also the Den of the Bugbear. Oh, Celes was sure. I don't think it will be enough, my friend. I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yeah. Always a little bit difficult to see. 1 damage, it's still night. You can turn it today, of course. A negate. Yeah, Jack B1AC. It was nice to meet you. This is usually how control matchup goes. I mean, he was a little bit unexperienced control player, but Why not, right? I take it, it's diamond, so what do you expect? And here we are against blue 1. We have here a lot of Jet B1 AC and then blue 1, or blue L. We go first. This smells to me like it's another control deck, but let's see. Let's see what we're gonna catch here. It's okay, a slower start with acceleration is okay. And we are on the play, this is why I keep this hand. Otherwise, if we would be on the draw without untap land on turn 1 to play this one, I think I would have played differently. But this way, guest into guest, and this is another Azorius control, yeah. This is why I said it smells like control deck. And against control, keep the Welcoming Vampire until you can, and this is a big tip guys, big tip. Imagine here flashing up. As soon as I change to a different editing software, I will make here flash up like poof, big tip here. Play Welcoming Vampire against control only if you can follow up with a card draw. So if you can bring it in and instantly draw a card with it. This is why. Let's go in. Step you. Oh yeah, I forgot that it's a red mana. It's okay, my ass is saved. Luck, pure luck. No, some, you know, after a while, if luck becomes skill or consistent, then it's skill. How do you used to say it? I used to play competitive games, and then always when people start screaming luck, other people who were long in this business, they said, if luck becomes consistent, then you call it skill. And this is what happens here. No, I'm joking, my friends. Let's play the Anvil. I played the land right now, right? Yeah, he's on 3, I'm on 4. Maybe talking a little bit too much. Black, blue, sure. Let's check out what we're gonna draw. Yup. My opponent has some sort of sweeper, definitely. This is why I'm keeping my Welcoming Vampire. Because a deck like this, going 4 turns without doing anything except an enchantment is... Angel Lens? Jesus, bro, you confuse me more and more, huh? This... Lens. By the way, just received a code from Jeremiah. Jeremiah, thank you again if you're watching this. Very, very kind. Can I draw something with haste? Do you think I can draw something with haste? Okay, let's go. No is no. Jump. Opponent can sweep now next turn if he wants to. And now we can instantly draw a card with our Oni and our Welcoming Vampire. And this is what I meant, right? Play it only to a time where the opponent can only instant speed remove it, not sweep it or not interact somehow differently with it, especially against control decks. Okay, Fateful Meaning. Now you should have a Doomscar. Definitely should have a Doomscar. This will be okay. I mean, this is what control does. And this is why Welcoming Vampire is here so important, right? I can still now attack through the Architect, right? I mean, I could even attack without even bothering about the Architect. Yeah, this was expected. We create a lot of treasures. And this is fine. This is totally fine. Let's see if we can top deck now our Sorin. Okay, so let's play you first. Maybe we will draw another Anvil. No, we didn't. Okay, then let's sacrifice one of you. Let's see what we draw then. A power word kill is not helpful. Black, and let's go here for red. And we do this next turn. For now, I am fine with it, right? Yeah, sure. For now, I'm fine with it. By the way, this text line here, look, this ability trigger only once each turn. Isn't it? Isn't it a little bit counterproductive? Like read this and all. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 counter construct creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Like, you know what I mean? Like this flavor is a little bit off. Okay, my opponent goes super annoying here. Okay, then I cannot trigger you in opponent's turn on the sorcery. Okay, okay, okay. I cannot do anything else, right? Sure. Oh, I should have add more mana. Maybe I have something to. What? I cannot channel it? No, I cannot channel it. Okay. Is my opponent dead? No, he's not, right? Let's go then. Let's go for 4 damage. And then we're gonna skip. See what my opponent can offer. Now he needs to double sweep or double interact with the Harvester because Rabbit Battery is just an amazing card. Okay, he decides to gain more life. Okay. Okie dokie. Opponent had a Hullbreaker, but he decided to discard it. Okay. Pass. My turn. Okay, we don't need this land right now. Another Rabbit Battery is good. Now we're gonna hide you underneath you, just in case my opponent has another sweeper. From damage factor, it's no difference. This is why Rabbit Battery is amazing. Sorin will be nice, for example, or Avatar will also be not bad. Right, Avatar will lead to the death of my opponent. Okay, opponent reanimates Hullbreaker. That's okay. He has 3 mana. Okay. Let's bait it, I think, huh? He needs to bounce it, otherwise he's dead. Oh no, he can gain 2 life there. So let's see. Maybe my opponent finds a solution for it. Okay. Interesting. I can attack with both. 1 comes true, 2 comes true, right? Sure, let's do it. Let's do it like this. And let's hide you underneath. End the turn. So this cheap life gain saves my opponent currently. And it's okay. As more stuff he is using is better for me. So next turn, even if I kill the Hullbreaker, it will be only 2 damage, right? Okay, this is maybe This is maybe the winning draw, Epicure. Okay. Let's go in. Maybe he has another Ganjo, or we'll see. We will see, but most likely he is dead if you don't have another life gain. Yes. Mwah. Now I would love to see his hand. Now I would love to see his hand, and we are in Diamond 2. How amazing is this? How amazing is this deck? I think I'm gonna do one more, but I wanna see what my opponent had. This was an Azorius control from old school, no? There is no new card. No, restoration. Yeah, no, I saw this similar list. Faithful Absence, Farewell. So we survived the Farewell, we recovered from Farewell, recovered from Invoke. This was not a basic list because it utilizes Invoke. I'm not sure why, but sure, and Hullbreaker with Invoke. But okay, let's go next. Zolali here against Stone. Finally somebody with a normal name. And yeah, most likely the last game, because the last game for now, and then we go into breakdown, because I saw that the last game we were playing took like 12 minutes or something, so I think this will be our last game. Depends what opponent this is. This hand is actually really good. If this is an aggro opponent, this will be really bad. Because we are on the draw, we have type lands with a shock land, so I can play, for example, let's say Haunted Reach, and then I can shock myself, so it will be a lot of damage to play Cult, and then I have nothing for Cult to sacrifice, right? So I'm gonna mulligan this hand. This is better, and Avatar, I don't want to have him so early on. This is actually much better. And you see how often we have a Ganjo? Hey, opponent. Second main? The Hund is cool. This is so cool, I don't know how you do it, bro. By the way, how do you like my Jabate? This is a Boros list, okay. Jabate with Javari Disruption. Okay, Talia, sure. Talia is annoying, but hey, what should I do, right? Nope. Talia is annoying, but there is nothing we can do against it. Oh, Jesus, this is more annoying here. Okay. No blocks. Ah, fucky, huh? Fucky. I need a land from the top. I'm not a big fan to play it like this. But for 3 mana I can do nothing currently, and I need a land from the top. Welcoming Vampire is not a land. No attacks. This could be our downfall. Let's see how opponent distributes the mana. I definitely need another land from the top. A black source will be a... So you are a Naya aggro list. Okay. I mean, I'm planning to mid hook. I cannot even mid hook for 2, right? Okay. Let's see. Fuck it. What should I do with it? Give me a land, game. So many lands, and you're not giving me lands. Not even tap lands. And the draw so far... I always have one, right? The draw so far was terrible. Definitely terrible. And I mean, this is most... Jesus. Game. Please. Like, please. Can you tell me what there is? Like, what's wrong? Like, you figured out that I need to lose some games? Okay. I'm dead, right? Yeah, doesn't matter how he attacks. I'm dead. Good game, my friend, good game. I think the game decided this a little bit for you. Otherwise, I think we would have really good chance if we would draw one more land. One more land will be perfect. But what, our experimental whiffed twice? Whiffed twice on a land? Opponent has a replacement Talia? This is not bad, not bad. But it's always like this. You rank up and then the first game, often you lose. Except the one run that I had the first time with this deck. But okay, let's go to the breakdown. And here we are, my friends, with the breakdown part. Let's put the lens fast aside and check out if there is something we haven't seen. I'm thinking now spontaneously what replacement and what we can do. So, first off, I think Angels will be in the meta. Or at least Angels will be like tier 2, will be played more common in the ranked. This is why Power Word Kill. Here I have a replacement already for you, Infernal Grasp, right? The life loss is maybe not so super important in this case because the Anvil gains us some life, and we have some other, let's say, accidental synergies, for example, like Sorin, token can gain us life, and so on. So Infernal Grasp is definitely an addition. Why I choose here is because currently there is barely dragons and barely devils, or there is no devils, and barely angels played, but as soon as the meta shifted, or as soon as other cards will be interested, like angels, like more dragons, then definitely Power Word Kill will need to go, and you will replace it with Infernal Grasp or maybe some other removal. Then if you face a removal heavy meta, let's say a lot of mono black, a lot of Ores of Control, then I will definitely recommend maybe remove some of Welcoming Vampire and play some of Graveyard Trespasser. Not only he also drains our opponent when we attack and exile the creature from graveyard, but also he has ward. It means, or she, it means that our opponent has really hard time to deal with it, and if they deal with it at the end, we won anyway because we replace our card with opponent discarding the card. Then for Welcoming Vampire, as I said, if you don't have a full set of it, easy replace it with Morbid. Morbid can draw you in some games much more cards than Welcoming Vampire, right? As I said, why I like Welcoming Vampire, first, she's flyer, and second, in mirror matchups, if you face mirror matchups a lot, Welcoming Vampire is just this little extra that you needed, right? Because often the mirror matchup, especially if you both have mid-focus out, one creature die, he gains life, and so on and so on. This is terrible. This is why Welcoming Vampire, you don't need to trade with creatures, you just attack with Welcoming Vampire, attack, and keep your tokens to protect against creatures. And also important for mirror matchup, if you play against another mirror matchup, try to don't use your Omni on creatures, especially if they have mid-hook out, because this will trigger the mid-hook from the opponent. Try to use all the blood tokens, all the treasure tokens, all the stuff that we have underneath that do not trigger the mid-hook massacre for additional trigger. Can you go more? Definitely you can. You can go with 3, you can go with 4. I found 2 being a really nice because, as I said, there is barely a situation where I say, okay, mid-hook is now not super helpful. For example, like the last game against, I think it was the first opponent with control where I had the mid-hook massacre in my hand, but didn't play it because I didn't saw it really necessary, and then he removed my my creature mantis Hive of the Eye Tyrant. You remember this matchup? There, I didn't found it super useful. I could have played it with treasures, but at the end, not necessary, right? Not really necessary. But in some matchup, like in previous matchup against Mono White or Naya aggro decks, it can be life and death, right? Like previous matchup again, as I said, if we don't whiff on our land drops 2-3 turns in a row, and we have a lot of lands, like this is 28 lands, I showed it to you in the intro, this is 28 lands, and we have here 3 additional lands, so it's 31 land that we theoretically can hit out of 80 cards, and this is a really good ratio. I mean, like, if you count, this is almost 40%, no? Like 38%, can it be? That we hit a land, and we should hit a land. Like, I'm sorry. We started out with 3 lands and we didn't draw a land in, what, 5 draws? Or 6 draws? Because our experimental synthesizer whiffed twice on a land. a little bit too suspicious. As I said, I'm not a super theorist here and say arena fix every game, but sometimes it's just a little bit too obvious, right? Like, yeah, I have a deck. I run there 12 lands. I'm on a white Winnie deck. I have 12 lands, and I think I have like 31 drops. You will not believe me how often I end up the game with 7 lands. 7 lands from 12, right? Like, something is off. Something is off, and this is things that just confirm me. Mauling, great card. There is barely, let's say, time where you are set to have it, right? You can use it as a removal that we showed, or I showed you against Hullbreaker. Against a control opponent, Azorius control, we can use it as removal, we can use it as a land drop. If we need to make our land drop in this turn, especially in the early game, you need your land drops there, and don't save your mauling, make your land drops. But in the late game, if you draw it, it's a removal spell, right? The combo with Cheeky Bricky, right? We saw the combo, I showed you the combo already, my easy deck that was so super. Yeah, I'm still really proud of this deck, and I if I would be able to, I would copyright it. No, really cool deck. And we saw this combo. This combo is possible here too, by the way. Similar in the end step, if you have 2 Kikis, you can copy the one Kiki and the other Kiki at the end step. When the trigger is there, you copy it again. What I love about the Kiki here is Rabbit Battery, and in future decks, if I will introduce you another Kiki Bricky deck, and I have some other Kiki Bricky decks with angels, for example, where you can trigger this enchantment that whenever an angel dies, opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, you use Rabbit Battery just to enable Kiki Bricky on turn 5, right? So turn 3 comes in, you create a token. Turn 4, you draw this card. Turn 5, Kiki comes in, you equip it with, if you have Rabbit Battery, you equip the Kiki with a Rabbit Battery, and instantly on turn 5 you can start getting value. This is such an amazing combo. Like, it doesn't even matter if you copy only a Shambling Guest, it's a free treasure or a free kill. If you copy Epicure, it's a free blood token, a free damage, right? So this is all just value. Of course, as higher up we go with Bloodtithe Harvester, with Welcoming Vampire, with our Avatar, as higher we go, as more value you get out of Kiki. But this is just an amazing card, amazing combo, and I'm super excited that we have something like this in Standard. I heard not long ago that there is some cards like this in Pioneer, or in older, more modern, in older formats of Magic the Gathering Arena. I personally don't remember these cards. Maybe I'm not too long with Magic, and I'm not so interested in older formats. I was always a Standard player, because I feel like it's more fresher. But I'm so happy that we have this for at least one more year. Because there are so many builds I want to do with it. And especially now when we have 3-color deck, this is so amazing. Just 1 red mana, right? 1 red mana. Amazing. If it would be already like 1 double red, it will be difficult, but this is just perfect. I love this card. If I would pick out my most favorite card this year, or in last year, this will be it. Oh no, Alana and Elena Partners, I love too. But, oh, guys, a deck with Alana and Elena and Fable and Cheeky Bricky, this is coming. I need to make something. Yeah, so far so it. Sorin, you could maybe go more, but I want to go more for the combo with Awakening the Blood Avatar. We didn't saw it so often, because the opponent usually had always the answer for it, but I had it pretty often. Let's say in 3 out of 10 games, I have the combo where I cast Avatar, copy it with Cheeky Bricky, and attack with 2, 3, 6 that instantly deal 6 damage, because when it attacks, it deals 3 damage to opponent's face, doesn't matter, right? And then if you have 2 of them, of course it's 6, and then if opponent don't block, it's 12. So imagine just turn 5, 12 damage in your face out of nowhere. This is really difficult, and sometimes you can decide games. Especially like last game against, or the previous game against Control, Hullbreaker Horror, you pass it in, opponent is forced to sacrifice it, you go for 6 damage, it's GG. Loli, I know some decks like to run Loli, I'm not a big fan in this deck with Loli, but definitely against aggro matchups, a really cool card. As I said, what I want to point out is the Morbid, Opportunist and Welcoming Vampire. I think these additions make this deck just next level, and this is definitely a tier 1 contender for me. I'm ranking up with it. I'm ranking with it like crazy. So I'm playing this one, and I'm playing the Naya midrange humans, and I'm ranking with it. The rank where you saw right now, it's mostly, I was already in Diamond 1, to be honest. Then I started building Dragons deck, then I started building some jankier decks, some that we saw today in stream. So this is why I fall again a little bit out, because I like to test my decks in ranked. First I try against Sparky, but then I usually go to rank and play a few games and then make some adjustment, play some other games. But yeah, this deck definitely will carry you, carry me, carry everybody who wants to rank up definitely far enough to reach the place where you want to be. Otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. I hope to see you in my next video, and on this spot, thank you for all your support, and I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao.